say anything until we went down and pulled that file.
Why not?
I just wanted to see if I could figure out who it was first.
I'm gonna start sending cards to everybody just for something to do.
Ground too wet?
Huh?
Is the ground too wet to do anything?
No, boy, somebody's sending us all kinds of good mail. Why do I have nail clippers in here? I didn't put these in here.
What did you have? The last numbers of their scores. The winning team had.
Whose desk that used to be Ron Russell?
John's.
Losing team had.
No,
Oh yeah.
Nobody
that was
was in here.
John's. Because there's still Wind Dancer Farm Pen. I think there's there's Kleenex in here.
Just $10 around.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, twice. I think it was 75.
Somebody
That
had,
was a long time ago.
somebody had,
Oh no, wait.
I think
Yeah,
it
those
was
go right. They got the final
Owen
four, don't they?
Muma's, Marshall Walker had Owen Muma's old desk and it
You know
had
what?
a
They
oh,
went
yeah.
over.
beach nut
They
in
went
it
over.
from back in the day when he was smashing it.
Yeah, we found it. I found
Did
it
you-
recently too.
Did you
I don't
use
know
it?
what we did with it.
No, but I remember her talking about it. She'd open her desk up and pull it out and show everybody
funny.
occasionally, and it's still in there.
Well, the last trademark on this pack of Kleenex here was 1995. So
Are the
It's still
couple
good.
that attend the Republican.
I don't think they expire, but
No.
I bet you blow your nose on that and it turns to dust pretty
Did
quick.
you watch the
I
Sunday?
got mine.
No thanks.
That they lost. I told the gal.
The two, right. Who's that one from? Who's what?
Fouls, get them in foul trouble early because they're
Been
not gonna
here
win.
since I've been here.
Would have made a difference right there.
Hand it down here. I'll use that.
It's restraint.
Told you. It's only when Pace is here, man.
Isn't that not Marine? Oh, I don't know who that is.
MIT wins and state has 25.
Oh, geez.
I know she came. Already last time, didn't she?
Mhm, you're right. Oh, looks like you're subbing again, chief.
No kidding. I'm gonna have to just start brushing up on the good book.
There she is.
Can I do just like good food, good meat, good Lord, let's eat?
Mhm, yeah. When you're called into action, I guess you got
Right.
a little leeway. You ready, Michelle? Chris?
Yep.
Brendan?
Yep.
Meeting will come to order. It's Montcalm County Board of Commissioners, regular meeting for Monday, March 27th. Begin with the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Vice Chairman Peterson.
We gotta work on our harmony. That was terrible. Bow your heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today. We appreciate the sunshine and maybe the threat of getting back to summer weather. We want to thank you for bringing everybody here today. We ask you to watch over us as we make the best decisions that we can for the county and our constituents. We do all this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Roll call.
Baker,
Present.
Johnston.
Here.
Peterson,
Yes, ma'am.
Painter,
Here.
Mahar, Carr,
Yes,
Cone.
Here.
we have a quorum. Everyone have a copy of the last meeting minutes, March 13th.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Johnston.
I'd move to approve the minutes from March 13th meeting.
Sport.
It's been moved and supported to approve the minutes of the last meeting, March 13th, 2023 as presented. Discussion. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. On tonight's agenda, I don't think I have any changes. Does anyone else?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chairman Peterson.
under new business, can I add animal control grants, please?
Number 4 under new biz is animal control grant.
Business? Nope, missed it.
Bruce, you left me out to hang, man. I had to step in for you.
All the doors were locked.
I think so. I did the best I could. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Anyone else, any additions, corrections to the agenda?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Johnson,
I'd move to accept the agenda as amended.
your support.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to accept the agenda as amended. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public comments.
Chuck Camp, Sydney Township. I'm also on the Commission on Aging Executive Board. I'm your rep for the Area Agency West Michigan Board as well. Follow up to last meeting's request from the COA director for a transportation coordinator position. After the meeting, I went back and looked at the job description for the director. A major part of his job is the grant applications and administration, which is included in the transportation coordinator position. We also have a volunteer coordinator in the department, and that's her job, is to coordinate the volunteers, and 17 of the 30 volunteers are transportation volunteers. So there's already positions that are taking care of those responsibilities and have been for a long time, since I think it's about 70. So if it comes up again, or if it comes off the table, I would ask you to just consider that. In September of 21, the executive board did unanimously approve a communications goal for the department. And number 1 in the communications goal was to do a needs assessment of the seniors in our county. In the last 18, 19 months since that goal was established by the executive board, not a single thing has been accomplished towards finding out what the needs of our seniors are in this county. So I guess until we get a needs assessment completed, you really can't, do anything or move forward to improve the department and improve the services of the Commission on Aging. So if you could put some pressure somewhere, somehow into getting that needs assessment moving forward, I think that'd be a good first step to identify the needs of the seniors in our county and what we can do as a Commission on Aging for those seniors. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any other public comments? If not, our 6:10 agenda item, and I don't know, are you fellas waiting for anyone else? We'll get you on a little bit early. So, yeah, come on up. We have Todd Williams and John, I didn't catch your last name, I guess. Miley? Wiley. From Lean and Green, Michigan, to give us an update on projects within the state or possibly within our county. We'll see. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much, commissioners. My name is Todd Williams. I'm president and general counsel of Lean and Green, Michigan. I believe the last time that we were here talking about PACE, property assessed clean energy, was Andy Levin, and the company's name was Levin Energy Partners. We did change the name after you guys had adopted PACE and started to work with us when Mr. Levin was elected to Congress. We really didn't want to the appearance that we were trading on his name at all. And so that is, one of the major changes since that time is, Levin Energy Partners most certainly does exist. We do not use that name very often. We just go by the name of the program itself of Lean and Green, Michigan. So very much alive, and amazing amount of growth and change over the last few years in PACE. And so one of my main goals for the company this year was to get out and talk with as many of our jurisdictions as we could about some of the updates. One of the new things, at least since the last time we were here, I'm certainly new. I've been with the company since 2018. Mr. Wiley is our new associate counsel, has joined the company last year. I think has enjoyed himself so far, though it is a very weird niche area of practice and very different from the type of law that he used to practice. So in addition to that, we do have Megan and Mary back at the office. And, we've moved from our old homestead and Eastern Market over into the Masonic Temple in Detroit. But I know at the time that you adopted, there were not as many jurisdictions. We're over 50 jurisdictions now. There are actually over 65 projects that have been financed with PACE across Michigan. One in your county. We're hoping, I know in the summer, we had interest from another property owner here in doing a PACE project that has since fallen by the wayside, as many PACE projects do. So just as a refresher and, bit of education for anybody who was not around back then, as I know a number of you have changed as well. PACE was created in 2010 in Michigan by Public Act 270. It allows for local jurisdictions to adopt a PACE program, Property Assessed Clean Energy Program, which allows for commercial and industrial property owners to finance energy efficiency, water efficiency, or renewable energy upgrades on their property. Why the county is involved is, this is a private loan from a private lender to a private property owner who's giving a security interest to the lender in the form of a tax assessment. And so they will come and work with us. We'll thoroughly vet any of the projects before we bring them forward, make sure it'd be a property owner that you guys would want to work with. At the end of the day, they're borrowing money, private property owner borrowing money to improve their property from a private lender. And the county is standing in and agreeing to place a tax assessment against the property and enforce it only if it goes delinquent. So the hope and the dream is that an assessment is placed for 15 to 25 years. And at the end of that time frame, you hear from us again on that project saying it's been paid off. You need to release the lien. And so a little bit of work up front, a little bit of work at the back. I can tell you these 65, I'm very proud to say, it was not until about 4 weeks ago that we've had a lender actually ask for a jurisdiction to do an enforcement for a failure to pay. All of this time, since the very first project that was financed in Michigan in 2015 until this past year, we've not had an enforcement. We're actually working through the process now. So the attorney in me is excited. I've had theories on how the enforcement process will work, and now I get to try them out. The president of Lean and Green Michigan is a little mortified because it's the end of a track record, but PACE is working, and it is, is bringing investment to Michigan property, private investment into improving Michigan properties. And now that we have our first actual default, that one's not actually that bad of a story. It is a property owner who's actually managed to default on his senior loan and be pushed into receivership and really kind of was a bad actor. And so, everybody's kind of seen this one coming. It's not a very large surprise, but we did want to reach out, come out. Thank you for having us. I'm very happy to answer any questions that you might have about PACE and Lean and Green Michigan and how we can better serve you moving forward.
Thank you. Is the project that we have in the county, can you freely talk about that, or is that kind of confidential? I mean, just to bring everybody up to speed on what that was and where it was at. Or
It's,
don't you know right off the top of your head anyway?
I don't remember it that much off the top of my head. It was a very early stage project. We realized we hadn't been out to talk in a while. And so we, it was a project that was brought to us by one of the lenders that we've worked with on projects in other jurisdictions. I believe it was a multifamily establishment, and it, just not moving forward at this point. So
It was like heating and cooling renovations, as I remember.
HVAC and the typical multifamily project that we see, and kind of the classic PACE. Be new HVAC, potentially new insulation, maybe new windows, new lighting, new domestic hot water. That's what we normally see in a multifamily project. And this one looked like it would be a good classic project, and just,
Can you remind us again too on how these are initiated? Do those people seek you out and get the ball rolling, or the contractor that's involved, or they don't come to us? I'm very happy to take projects no matter how they come in. I can tell you the typical process.
is one of like three different routes. Either it is a property owner reaching out because, very often not for environmental reasons, but because they realize the furnace or the boiler is about 30 years old and about ready to blow up just before winter starting, and they need to replace it. And so they find us because they're thinking of ways to finance that type of measure. And so very often that's how property owners come to us, unless it's a property developer is looking to develop a new property. They tend to be more aware of available financing. The other ways that we end up seeing projects come in are from some of the PACE lenders. They have relationships. A few of the PACE lenders who operate within Michigan do have salesmen who are constantly trying to drive and look for projects within Michigan. So yeah, they're definitely out there. A number of projects that come across my desk also come in from local economic development. We try to work with, our partners. My team's 4 people. We cover a lot of jurisdictions, and I hope that we do it well for all of them. But we can't be everywhere, and so we do try to work with our local jurisdictions and with local economic development groups to highlight the availability that this the tool exists and it can be used. It's not always the best tool. It's not always the best fit, but part of our job is to help vet projects when they come in. So certainly any commercial property owner is looking or has a need that does reach out to you with, they know that they need to make improvements to the property. They would like to retain their staff in a building, but it's getting a little old and needs to get updated. We're happy to talk with all of them about what PACE is and whether it'd be a good fit for them. And if it's not, I'm also happy to recommend, other types of projects or other types of sources of funding that might be a better fit, whether it's a, grant from the state or whether it is funding coming out of the utility companies. At the end of the day, we like people to borrow money and get the projects done, but I like them to borrow as little as possible.
The interest rate isn't any better because is just market rate on the interest with the lender, or?
Typically market rate. It's one of the reasons we like to refer property owners to talk with multiple lenders. I will say PACE tends to be higher than some traditional bank financing. A lot of that I'm seeing right now in about the 3 to 5 range. A lot of PACE interest rates right now I'm seeing in the 7 to 9% range. But it is drastically cheaper than the type of financing it most often displaces, which would be mezzanine financing, which I think the last deal where we forced them to get us a term sheet on mezz debt, it was coming in the 18 to 19 range. So, it's not the best fit. One of the benefits compared to a bank loan is it is recourse to the property, and it tends to be extremely long-term fixed rate. So most PACE deals you will find in the 15, 25-year range, skewing towards the upper ranges. Most bank loans, for any number of reasons, they don't like to lend beyond about a 5 to 7 year term. But that's where it becomes an interesting thing of what works better for the property owner.
Mm-hmm. Do you see it slowing down because of the interest rates?
We've seen some slowdown. Certainly, we've had a number of projects at the start of this year that have kind of paused on us in their development stages. The nice thing is PACE loan or PACE interest rates are not going up by themselves. All interest rates going up, this is still staying in roughly the same kind of spread between a bank loan and mezzanine debt as it was prior. Certainly 2 years ago, I know we closed a couple of deals in the 3% interest rate range. That property owner is very happy right now with the 20-year note for 3%. So a little bit of slowdown, but I don't think it's been a massive slowdown because of the interest rates. The bigger slowdown, I think, is still stemming from last year where the cost of materials and kind of the demand for, it's amazing if you go from, a 1 month lead time and getting a furnace in, a large scale furnace to a 3 month, it really changes the metrics on when you want to do a project.
Anyone else?
I just we joked around a little bit before the meeting. I just want to make sure to reiterate in the newspaper that you guys are not with commercial solar farms or commercial wind turbine companies, correct?
We are not.
Okay,
So
I
we-
just want to make sure in case this hits the papers, I don't want a bunch of people calling me, telling me that the county is involved in turbines and solar panels and this, that, and the other.
I think it's always important to remember the one thing that we do is manage the administration of your PACE program and the administration of the PACE programs of the other jurisdictions that are on the map on our trifold. We're not here for the contractors. We're here to work with you. At the end of the day, I don't get to approve any of the projects. We will thoroughly vet them. That's John's job for the most part now, is to make sure that they meet all the statutory requirements for PACE. But at the end of it, the commission has the full authority to approve a project or not. And so there will not be a PACE project done that does not come back to you for approval. And in my mind, and I have not seen a reason why the county needs to give a reason in approving a project or not. So we've certainly had some where it looked like a wonderful PACE project, wonderful solar project on a large apartment complex, would have been very good, open roof space, saved a lot of energy. Turns out that property owner has 26 other single purpose LLCs in that same county. Most of them don't pay their property taxes. And though that county was not willing to move forward with a tax-based, property tax-based program with them. So I'm not going to know every bad actor that you guys will in your county. It's why we work with you, and why I don't want to approve anything. I want you guys to. So I will mention there may be some changes coming to PACE. During the last session before the Michigan House, there were a couple of bills that would have made changes in the PACE statute. We believe they will be reintroduced sometime in the next month. If they pass, it will make PACE a little bit more accessible for commercial property owners, a little easier to do. And so hopefully you'll see me in a few months telling you what those updates are and updating your program report to address those changes. The one thing that will not change is at the end of the day, the commission gets to approve projects and has that ultimate check on it.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
I don't recall the name of the complex, but a number of years ago, I did do a tour with a group at a PACE project in Greenville on a multi.
Cambridge Court Apartments.
Was that the one? Yes,
Yeah.
I think that was, yes. So,
That is the one PACE project up here. We'd love to get a second one because I don't like singles anywhere. I like to get a double or a triple when I can.
very good. Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
I just had a quick question. If you looked across your basket of clients,
Mhm.
Is it mostly residential? Is it industrial? Is it hospitality? I'm just curious what the mix of your,
So the portfolio has definitely changed, over the last couple of years, and this trend isn't just in Michigan. Some of these trends are, we've seen kind of nationwide. I do talk with administrators who are similarly situated in other states, running their programs to kind of see what's going on, also to check and see what they think of the lenders and various contractors. In the last couple of years, and it's important to note in Michigan, we can do multifamily that's 4 units and above. That's counted as commercial. We only have commercial PACE in Michigan. We don't have pure residential. Plenty of horror stories online about residential PACE, and I'm very happy we don't have it. It's a slightly different animal. In Michigan, last year, we saw a marked trend towards new senior living facilities getting built and being built. So any new construction utilizing PACE needs to be building above code. They need to make it a better building than the absolute worst building you ever build is a code building. So they need to go above and beyond. Additionally, hospitality and multifamily were kind of the three major areas. We've seen continued interest from cannabis companies looking to utilize PACE. I'm a little skeptical of those companies at this point with kind of the market correction that's going on. And so it would be, I'm not sure if I would recommend one of those projects right now. But But that was definitely a massive spike last year. We had a lot of grow operations reaching out to see if they could utilize PACE. They are very heavy users of energy, so it does make some sense to try and drive down how much energy they're using, but it seems like a little bit of a tough market right now for them. So the high points, I think, probably moving forward this year will still be hospitality and multifamily.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, great. Appreciate the update. Is there anything else that you guys have for us, or?
No, anytime you need us, we're available. We're happy to
Go
come
quiet
out.
down the neighbors.
I can try, John.
So when we adopted that, it doesn't have to be a county, it can be any municipality. We did something that allowed the fact that we did it at the county level, anybody else in the county can take advantage of that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So it's one of the reasons we like working with counties is because it gives us, it's kind of the broadest footprint we can possibly get. But any municipality, any township could also adopt a program. We certainly do have some areas of the state where there are overlapping programs where both a municipality and a county have both adopted. In those situations, we're happy to work with both. It kind of depends on what the property owner wants.
Okay. Well, good. Thank you. Appreciate the update.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next agenda appointment, Mark Saban from the Solid Waste Management Committee is here with a request.
Requesting an apology.
Well, as you know, we like to move our program, our household hazardous waste and our tire and electronics program around the county. And a month or so ago, I began planning for our spring events here in May. And I forgot to come and ask permission to hold them on county property. So I thought I should get up here and see you. I was reminded that I had forgotten, so I'm here to ask permission to use the parking lot at the health department, between the health department and the district court, where we've done them in the past, for May 6th tire and electronics event and a May 20th household hazardous waste event.
Both Saturdays.
From 9 to noon.
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chairman Peterson.
move to allow the Solid Waste Committee to hold their spring events on May 6th and May 20th in the parking lot at 615 North State Street in Stanton.
Been moved and supported to allow Solid Waste to use the parking lot between District Court and the Commission on Aging building for their cleanup days on both May 6th and the
May 20th.
20th. Discussion.
I would assume that this will be up on the website, the county website,
On theirs for sure.
location, once it's officially approved.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next is correspondence. Vice Chairman Peterson, please.
Okay, first up in your packets, page 11, the opioid settlement proceeds resolution.
Yeah, that's in response to at the last meeting, I asked you if you wanted me to affirm that we wanted to get in on the retail shops, the Walmarts and the CVS and that. So I did that step, signed us up for it, and now they want this resolution to go with that.
What type of motion do you need? Just approve and allow for signatures?
Mhm.
Okay. It looks like we're getting a 0.695% of any settlements. Really raking it in, Phil. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns about this? If not, I would move to approve and allow for signatures resolution 2023-05, the opiate settlement proceeds.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to adopt resolution 2023-05, the opiate litigation settlement proceeds, and obtain the appropriate signatures. Discussion.
Are we being represented by Sam Bernstein or are they?
We are not.
Oh, man.
Why did you see that on here?
Yeah, it's at the bottom of the deal. Looks like Mark
just-
Bernstein's the one handling it.
Bean is the guy that represents us.
Did we have an idea how much, what this amounted to, our share?
I'm
thinking they gave us-
Wasn't it just under 2 million or
Yeah,
I thought they gave us some
1.6 or something
yeah.
paid over 13 years.
between the 5 or 6 entities there? Yeah.
Mhm. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay,
Don't need a roll call on the resolution.
next up, the rave flag display. You guys remember this from last year. They do it every year, the flag display and clothesline project. Usually the flag display is out in front of the prosecutor's office, court complex, and then the clothesline, is that in by the prosecutor's office or is that outside too? I can't remember either.
So,
Does anybody have any questions about that? If not, I would move to allow the rave flag display and clothesline projects to take place in the month of April. I guess that's it.
April and October.
Huh?
One's in April, one's in October.
Oh, I thought they came back and asked for it in
I think they did it all in one this time.
okay, well then I will just move to approve the rave flag display and clothesline projects use of prosecutor's building, court complex, whatever.
Is there support?
I guess I'll support that too.
It's been moved and supported to allow Rave to use the property adjacent to the prosecutor's office, inside and out, whatever their needs are for the Rave display. Both dates,
April and October, it just says
October.
during the months of April and October. I
Okay,
think it's a whole month-long project for
All right.
both of them.
discussion. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And to piggyback off of that, the clothesline project is just outside of the prosecutor's office. So next is the budget adjustments. I would normally tell you all about these, but I'll let Brenda take over.
So as you can see from each one of them, I have found a revenue to offset the expense I'm going to budget adjust. So there's zero net effect on that fund. This is just my initial round. It's usually my smallest. I hit the highlights, the ones that I'm pretty sure I won't have to come back and revisit maybe. Ones that are ongoing, I wait either till the June or the September round to hit them. So anybody have any questions? A lot of it's ARPA, as you can see.
Mhm. Questions, comments, concerns, going once, twice.
I need to be reminded about when the auditors are coming.
He says he wants to come to the May 8th meeting. So he will be on the May 8th agenda.
If nobody else has got anything, then I would move to approve the budget adjustments for fiscal year 20. Isn't it supposed to be 2023 as presented by the controller?
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the budget adjustments for fiscal year 2023 as presented by the controller. Discussion. If not, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, next up, page 64 in your packet, the controller has presented us with her First attempt at a budget calendar. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns on that?
Will those July dates work for everybody for the budget work sessions, the 12th, 14th, 26th, and 31st? That's probably what.
No,
No.
I
Why
need 4
not?
new dates.
Why is it blueberry season in
No,
July?
I don't know if those dates will work. That's July.
You don't have a calendar to look at.
Are those, just like 2-hour meetings at the moment? We're done by 3:00.
Yeah,
hopefully.
usually we don't do any more than 2 hours.
Mhm.
I think the 12th is a Wednesday,
It is.
14th would be a Friday. I tried to stay away from Tuesdays and Thursdays, Phil.
That doesn't matter to me in July.
Oh, okay.
Man, I want to know what your calendar looks like in July.
I don't know. That's
Oh.
the problem. See,
You sound busy.
things pop up.
Does anybody else have anything? Can everybody hopefully make those dates work?
I mean, I guess, and we can tweak them if we have
Well,
to.
and it isn't one of those things where everybody has to be at every one, as long as we have.
Quorum, yeah.
Well, unless I mean, it's a work session, so
Mhm.
I mean, it would be nice for everybody to be there. Obviously. Do you need us to approve this?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we have in the past.
Does anybody have any reason to not approve this budget calendar? If not, I would move to approve the budget calendar for fiscal year 2024 as presented by the controller.
Support. It's been moved and supported to adopt the proposed budget calendar for 2024 as recommended by the controller. Discussion. If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, next up is the warrant report. It'll be page 65 in your packet. Just for an FYI, I talked to the city manager of Stanton. Some of the marijuana money distribution payments are in this warrant report, or maybe all of them are. Talking with Jake, the city manager from Stanton, they are going to use some of that money to add a new vehicle to their police force. I didn't know this, but they have they're going to, after next month, they're going to have 4 full-time officers. One of them is going to be a resource officer at Central Montcalm High School, but including the chief, there'll be 3 other ones. So they're doing big things there. I also talked to them about possibly supplying us with a monitor for our meetings. And he said he is very open to entertaining anything that we need. I told him it'd be for maybe 2 hours once or twice a month. And maybe $20 to $30 an hour, whatever it would take. But he said he's got a couple reserve officers that he could make work, or the on-duty guys. So just an FYI, if that's somewhere we want to go down, and we really think we need the monitors up here, that's a thing. So does anybody else have anything on the warrant report? If not, I would move to approve and allow for signatures warrant number 03272023 in the amount of $877,576.35. Support.
It's been moved and supported to adopt warrant number 03272023 in the amount of $877,576.35. Discussion. If there's no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, next up, your consent agenda, items 6 through 9. Within that's the agreement for the parking lot, the Homeland Security grant, Dodge report, medical examiner's report. Does anybody have anything on those? If not, I would move to place items 6 through 9 of the consent agenda on file. Support.
It's It's been moved and supported. Place items 6 through 9 of the consent agenda on file. Discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And the rest of that is for your information and resolutions from other counties. And if no one has any questions on those that I can't answer, that will be your board correspondence for Monday, March 27th.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Peterson.
Thank you.
Had no committee reports last month. Next is new business, item 1, clerk correspondence.
Have anything?
Number 2, controller correspondence.
I have a couple of things. I received an email from Judge Schaefer late Thursday indicating that the state or scale is backpedaling now on the Juneteenth holiday because the governor hasn't made it a state holiday. It's a federal holiday, but not a state one. So they allowed counties to back out on that, and he did that. So our courts will not have that holiday this year. They are going to be working that holiday. So he rescinded that holiday on our behalf.
Where were we on the rest of where did we leave that discussion on the rest of the county?
We nixed it. We didn't make it happen.
So this would be
So-
more consistent with that then.
Right,
Okay.
right. And that's why he did it.
Until the
So-
governor changes her mind.
Until the governor makes it a state holiday, then we'll go back. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
They'll just
So-
wait till the day before and drop it on us like last year.
Yeah. But I thanked him for that and told him you guys would be much appreciative of his
No, I
efforts
think it
to
just
do that.
makes sense.
Yeah. And then also I wanted to mention, I was hoping Mark Saban would stick around. He left. I was going to mention, so the governor has signed Part 115. It used to be referenced, it's due to our solid waste committee. And now they're changing that to a materials management plan. And as of this Wednesday, the 29th, we will have 180 days to respond to the state to let them know if we are going to update, if we have the intention of updating our own plan, or if we want the state to do it for us. We have every intention of updating our plan because we're like way ahead of the game in recycling in our county compared to a lot of other counties. At our next meeting, I think I'm going to be, I think I'll be at the April meeting. I missed last week's meeting. We'll talk more about it. I have signed up for there's a conference in May in Kalamazoo that the Recycling Coalition is sponsoring. I'm going to go to that, glean as much information as I can. They talk a lot about composting. So that's going to be a big thing we're going to have to institute in the county, and it's going to have to be regulated, I believe. But as far as the recycling end of it, we're doing very well. And once we tell the state our intentions to do our own plan, update our own plan, we'll have 3 years to then devise the plan and put it in play. So that's where we're at that. So you'll probably see someone, probably Mark will be back, maybe in a couple of months to ask for that letter of intent to be signed and sent to the state. So just to keep you in the know, what's going on there.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much work it's going to be to update the plan. It's kind of old, so it might be a little labor intensive, but
Is that
we'll see.
is that the part like where once we did an update that made the land had to claim the landfill bigger footprint for future expansion? Is that all part of the same plan, or is this just on the recycling side? of
This will
things?
just be on our recycling end, the
Okay.
county side. The landfill will have a lot of hoops to jump through too, with this Part 115. So, but Roger Rockford's pretty much on top of that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
and I guess that's it.
that's it.
Mhm.
Chair correspondence. Couple things. The doors for this meeting, for our meeting tonight, the controller has recommended. I concur that like we've got tonight, the one handicap accessible door is the only one in this building that needs to be left unlocked after the 4 o'clock. So everyone will come in through that door. Is everyone agreeable or on board with that plan then? And then secondly, I guess maybe we can have some, while we're talking about that, we can have some quick discussion about the monitor idea. Brenda had offered it out to county employees as we had directed her, and we've got two employees. Are they both in this building?
Nope, one's in front of the court and the other's a custodian. So
So we've got two county employees that were interested in that monitor position. For the two current users of the building after hours were the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. So we've got that as an option. And from Commissioner Peterson's comments a minute ago, he's got interest from the city of Stanton to provide a officer as a monitor as well. So we'd have a uniformed or an officer for the same cost.
And not to interrupt, and I didn't mention the Democrat and Republican meetings to Chief Mumford. I just said the board meetings. Yeah.
Okay. So is there any interest, anything we want to do before we meet again on that front? Do we want to, any action we want to take?
just so you all know, I have reached out to both parties and asked for the keys to be returned by the end of May, because that was about 90 days. And then I would like to start instituting the monitor process with their meetings in April. So I've asked both parties for schedules, their meeting schedules, so I can get my two employees in line and signed up to do this. And I haven't received anything back yet, so, but I'll keep you in the loop on that.
And if the board wants to pursue with Chief Mumford, I don't want to be the point man. I mean, I'm sure Brenda can, unless you don't want to. I'm not trying to throw it on you. I can,
Do it.
but
Would it make sense, being that we've got a new venture here, to maybe learn a few things about, if we've got a couple employees interested in the two party meetings, to give that to them, and then let Stanton do our meetings, and we'll have a couple different options, and we can see where it goes for a year or whatever, and maybe it gets merged into one service doing them all, or maybe it stays separated, but that would give us a variety to gauge it against. Does that make sense?
I think it's a great idea.
And the rate we had kind of loosely established at the last meeting for the employees was
20 or 25.
20 or
I think
25 an
is what
hour,
I had
and
written down.
some kind of a minimum. I mean, we want to,
I would think whether they're here for 5 minutes or 59 minutes, I would think $20 is a minimum.
With an hour minimum.
an
Yeah.
hour minimum.
An hour
then.
minimum.
Okay.
I think $20 an hour is not a bad rate to just kind of watch a door. I mean, we're not asking them to jump in front of bullets or anything.
Well, my idea was that everyone that came through the back door would sign in as they came in. And then once they left, she would check them off as they left. If she's got everybody checked off, then she doesn't even have to come up here and check the room. You know, she can just lock the door and leave.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my thinking,
She'll set up
just to make it easy enough.
similar to what we did with the pandemic, a little
Yeah.
table there by the doorway. and-
Yeah, something.
Good.
Yeah.
And I guess for our meetings, I just thought we could have a officer sit on the second floor and watch both doors. And
Well, we're only gonna have the back door open though, aren't we?
Yeah.
well, I just if we had an officer, I don't think we'd
Oh.
need the front door locked. But if that's the way you want to do it, that's fine. I don't care. I'll sit in the window again and yell at people and tell them to come to the back door.
Oh, it won't take long, and everybody will know that's the plan after hours.
Mhm.
We wanna, I think we ought to have a motion on that, just for the record.
What would it sound like to allow the controller to implement monitors for the Democratic and Republican meetings, and
$20 an hour with
at
minimum.
the rate of $20 an hour? Is that one motion?
Mhm.
I would make that motion.
Their support.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to allow the controller to offer the monitor position to county employee to stand by for the Democratic and the Republican Party meetings here in this building after hours at the rate of $20 per hour with an hour minimum. Discussion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
does that motion include the sign in and sign out sheet?
Yeah, she'll give them the
Nope.
rundown of what we expect.
Good, because that's important for security, I think. And it's just one door, right?
Mhm.
Perfect.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Do
Opposed? Motion carried.
we need a motion for
I think
Stanton
so.
PD?
Yep.
Would it be called contracting with Stanton PD for a auditor for the board meetings?
Yeah, I think so.
Then I would make that motion as well.
Is there a rate on that one?
I would say fair is fair, $20 an hour with an hour minimum, I
Okay.
guess. But is that something we could task Brenda with negotiating with? Maybe it wouldn't be that much. I don't know what their rates
No,
are.
it could be. You can leave it open-ended and have the
Yeah.
controller figure out
That's-
the rate.
That's the motion I would like to make.
Support?
Yes.
It's been moved and supported to allow the contractor the controller to contract with City of Stanton for monitor coverage for the Board of Commissioner meetings at a negotiated rate. Discussion. If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The other couple things I have are just sort of housekeeping. That rave, is it, or even like the solid waste. Mark doesn't have to come here and ask to use that, does he? Can't we make that streamline more? We're not gonna object to that. That's something the controller can just give him permission for in the future. Or do you want him to come here?
I don't think we need him to come here, but we could put it in correspondence, just like the rave stuff. I don't think he needed to come here just to do that.
Okay.
I mean, if maybe down the road we think, no, we don't want to do that anymore, I'd at least like the option.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
But definitely for something that trivial, I think it'd just be a correspondence or
Okay.
a controller correspondence, whatever. Yeah.
And then the other housekeeping issue I had, do you think on our agenda, the agenda approval is out of order?
I said that a couple weeks
Wow.
ago.
That's been a long time ago.
I think the agenda approval should be right after roll call.
Mhm.
So can we agree that we want to make that change? Does anybody object to that? Switch that around, approve the agenda before we get too deep into other business and, okay,
Makes sense.
that's all I had. Number 4, new business is animal control grant.
And I'm very aware that this is not how we want to do things. And Autumn came to me with these 2 grants that she got approved for, and they aren't due until April 20th. But if she turns them in now, she'll be able to start spending money on the 1st of April. And there are 2 grants for Commissioner Baker will love this one. One for $15,267 to purchase and install cat cages for the quarantine area in the shelter. To also purchase a cat enrichment tower for felines at the shelter. The other one is a spay and neuter grant in the amount of $4,733. So.
And I would just like to add that this wasn't, the original grant was for that building addition that she got for $23,000 last summer. And she basically said she didn't want to do that anymore because she needed these things more importantly. So it's kind of actually old business. And I'm also going to say that when she brought it today, I told her to go on the April 10th meeting agenda because she had 10 days. She let us to believe that she needed it today. When she got the information to us, we pointed out it's not due till the 20th. We have another meeting. Let's follow procedure. And I was
And
usurped.
here we are.
And here we are. Usurped. Just letting you know that.
So if nobody has any objections, I would like to move to approve and allow for appropriate signatures for the grants for animal control through 270 Incorporated.
It's been moved and supported to approve the grant changes to 270 for animal control improvements. Discussion. I think that grant is a great find on her part to be able to secure that money for the county. But I do agree with Brenda. I mean, we're asking everybody else in the county to play
Follow
by
the
a set of
procedure.
rules.
Mhm.
Here's the date. And we've even established or loosely said that we're not going to take business on the first meeting of the month as a voting thing any more than we have to. Let it kind of dwell for a couple weeks, come back to this second meeting of the month and deal with it. It's agreed or pointed out that this isn't an emergent issue, that we have time to take it up at the first meeting in April. So I guess I agree with Brenda that we need to be more cognizant of our own policies, I guess. But I also understand that that's a big chunk of money that she's able to secure and bring into the county, and nice to start spending it sooner than later. But anyway, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Motion carried.
That's all I got.
That ends new business, old business. We don't have anything. Public comments. We either did really good or really bad.
Yeah, I think everybody just wants to get out back into the sun. Well, I would, gosh, I feel like I had a public comment, an actual public comment, but I don't remember what it was. It probably wasn't good. I would move to adjourn.
Their support.
Sport.
It's moved and supported to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Is there a number on those grants?